Hello, my name is Glenn Dyer, and you were watching a Dyer-Situation. Today I'm seeing Atomic Blonde. I think it's based on a comic book. Or a book. I don't know. If I'm being honest, I have absolutely no... Well, I know it's something to do with, like, a spy. I think it's... somebody's a spy. I don't know for whom, but... The main character, the Atomic Blonde, I presume, is a spy? Yeah. And, yeah, if I'm being honest, this movie, the trailer, the poster, gives me nothing. It just seems like generic action movie, spy thing. And I have no idea what it's about. But, nonetheless, I'm slightly looking forward to this. And here's why. I decided to do a bit of research. I found that the director of this movie only has, like, 4 directing credits. Thought, that's strange, they're getting a newbie director for this sort of thing. Well, you know, somebody's gotta start somewhere. One of the movies he's going to be directing is Deadpool 2. And he also directed that Deadpool short that was at the beginning of Logan. Okay, that's pretty good. But here's the thing. Here's where he's made the majority of his credits for IMDb. Stunt work. Oh yeah, stunt coordinator. He did it for like 300, V for Vendetta, for Fight Club. Stunt coordinator. So you know what that tells me? It tells me no matter how the quality of the movie is, no matter the plot, the story, whatever, the action in this film is probably gonna be really fucking awesome. That's what excites me. Because special effects coordinator, that could mean a lot of things. VFX coordinator. Yeah. But stunt coordinator, that is real people getting hit by cars. That's what that tells me. You don't need stunts when everything is CGI. So if you have a stunt coordinator... Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Let's see it. Well, I was right on the stunts. There is a lot of stunts. A lot of really cool stunts. And, to be honest, there was one point in the movie that really had me impressed. It was this really, really, really long take. This long action scene. With so many stunts, so many practical effects in there. Such clever camera work. My god, it went on for like 5 to 7 minutes. It's fucking brilliant. I love that. As for the movie as a whole, it's got a lot of issues. I'm sad to say. Let me just say this straight up. Aside from that one scene, like the long take, you could probably harvest that and use that, I don't know, have somebody play that on a website or something. Get that cinematographer some work, people. Aside from that, here is the bottom line for the movie. For everything I'm about to say, here's the thing. The style of the film. It's a kind of neo-noir, punk aesthetic, I suppose. Try to think a lot of neon and stuff. Like, try to think Blade Runner, the aesthetic of Blade Runner, except not science fiction, of course. Just very 80s, desaturated, very blue, lot of neon shit. That kind of aesthetic. In fact, I'm pretty sure you don't see color until the last scene. But yeah, it's practically black and white. It's a very noir style picture. And a lot of people think that looks cool. However, if you are not overly enthralled with that style, if you do not think that style is great, and you love seeing that, and you would love to see a 2-hour movie looking exactly like that the whole time, you won't like this movie. I'm sorry. If you aren't that interested in that kind of style, if that kind of thing by itself will not captivate you, at best you'll be bored and a little confused by the film as a whole. The script is very intricate. It's very clearly well thought out, but sadly it is directed in such a way to where it's very hard to pay attention. Well, how do I put it? As I said, it's kind of like a noir, so information is delegated out in a very specific way from very specific people and stuff. And essentially, in order for something like that to work, the direction has to be such to where you pay attention to very specific things at very specific times. I'm trying to explain this as best as I can. It's hard to do so without reference clips from the film, but it has to be you have to be focused on certain things at certain times, otherwise retention won't maintain itself. And this isn't a comment on like internet culture and how people can't maintain their can't pay attention to something for more than 5 seconds. It's not just that. Even back in the old days with actual noir films, this was a very, very difficult thing to accomplish. You have to make sure that you pay attention to the right thing at the right time. That's a hard directing thing to do in a movie like this. And I don't think it's pulled off right. At one point in the movie, there is a big reveal that happens. I'm not going to spoil what it is. I'm just going to say it's a big reveal. And I get the feeling that the audience was supposed to go, "Wow!" or "Huh?" or something to that extent of just, "Wow, that was a great reveal there." And instead, it's hard to feel that way, even though this is something we didn't know. We didn't quite understand everything else to begin with, because it didn't make that much sense to everyone. And it probably also doesn't help that immediately after the big reveal, there is an extremely stupid moment. Like, I'm not even joking, like, actually really stupid moment that happens. It's the only time in the movie that something that stupid happens in the film. Which is bizarre, because the rest of the time it's very professional in how it deals with stuff. But yeah, anyway. Yeah. Because normally in that film, like, when you're watching in the theater, there's always a bunch of old people around you, of course. When something like that happens, there's always somebody who goes, "Oh," or something like that. Now, bear in mind, I'm referencing other people just because sometimes I get the feeling that I watch too many movies and all this is just going on in my head here. So I sometimes just pay attention to other people's reactions to see what, like, normies, I suppose, think of this stuff. There's always somebody who like, whispers to their friend, "Oh, I didn't see that coming," or something like that. There's always someone. This time, no. There didn't seem to be any kind of audience impact at that moment at all, and I was looking too. I was like, "Well, what does everyone else think of this?" Nothing. And that's the thing. But if you do happen to be enthralled by that style, if that style engages you to that level, it can work. I can see it working. I can see people absolutely loving this film, so long as that style enthralls them enough. Because then you'll be paying attention. You'll be looking at the style. Wow, what a cool looking style. You don't see that in movies too often. Which, yeah, you don't. It's like, wow, I love me some noir. But if you are not, then almost certainly you'll just leave going, Wait, what happened again? I remember this was really cool long take at one point, but like, what actually happened in the movie? Who is this about? I don't understand. And sadly, that's kind of how I've come out. Well, I do pretty much understand exactly what happened in the film, because that's my job, but if I'm just talking from a personal level, I did not enjoy this. I don't mean to be rude, and I don't mean to insinuate that this movie is in any way as bad as the other one, but today I saw two movies. This and the Emoji Movie. I've already sent out the review for the Emoji Movie, but during both movies, I checked my watch just as many times. This movie's 2 hours long, and it feels like 4, if you're not enthralled with the style. I have to put emphasis on that. But yeah, no. Do not take me out of context there. This movie is not bad. I have to stress that. At worst, I would say it is underwhelming. Underwhelming is the worst thing I would say about it. It is not bad. It is certainly not Emoji Movie bad. It's just very underwhelming. And I think that, yeah, to reiterate my point for the 10th time, if you're not enthralled with the style, you'll probably be kind of bored. And you'll probably hate it at worst. I don't hate it, but I can see people hating it. Just as I don't love it, but I can certainly see people loving it. Like, a lot. And that's essentially it. Look up some screenshots or posters, or look up the trailer, even. And if you're like, wow, that style looks so cool, watch the movie right now. You'll love it. But if you look at that and you're like, well, I'm up for an action film, and like the style or anything that doesn't really in particular speak to you, just like, I'd like to see an action film today, I wouldn't bother. You're not going to get much. But yeah, stunt work was great. Use that long take for... Jesus Christ, that ought to be in a museum, man. That long take was great. It's not enough to really recommend the whole movie. I mean, it's literally like 5 minutes out of 10, out of 2 hours. But, I don't know, 2 years from now, post that on YouTube. It'll be great. So until next time, I'm Glenn Dyer, and you have been watching a Dyer-Situation.